Hey everyone. So I wanted to do a video, and this is actually going to be a part of a series of videos I'm going to be doing about being single and being saved. And I'm going to talk about a couple issues that usually the saved single faces. And I actually kind of got the idea to do this series when I was watching over this past weekend a video that a YouTuber posted, and it's basically just broken down into 6 parts. But it's a sermon that Bishop Noel Jones preached on his life as a new single. You know, he was married for 20 plus years and went through a divorce, and now he's living as a single man. And I watched this video, and he is very provocative in his messages. And what I mean by that is he says a lot of things that provoke you to action or make you think, because he's just so deep and so complex. And I started to think the single people have it so we have a luxury of things being easy, but we also have a disservice of things being so hard. And especially that's magnified when you talk about single Christians. It is, I'm gonna move this down a little bit. Single Christians. There is always like that fine line there. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about you can't identify with me as a single, as a Christian single woman. You can't identify with me. And that is something that for forever I've tried to convey to my mother. Mom, you can't identify with me. It's so hard for her to see that there really is no. She thinks that she knows what I've been through because she was single for what, a year? My mom was married when she was 21. She had me probably when she was like 22 or 23. So, you've been married for 28 years, so you can't identify with me. I think that's the story of the single Christian, is you can't identify with me. And seeing the message that Bishop Noel Jones preached kind of put me at ease, because I thought, finally someone sees what I'm going through. And, like I said, he was married for 20 years, and his whole thing was he was married and now he's dealing with having to deny his flesh when, at night, he went on home to his wife, and it was on when he got home, but now he's going home by himself and there's no one there but him. Now, putting his perspective in a different set of rules, because he was a married man and now he's not married, but when you apply it again to the single Christian woman or man who not necessarily was married, but have experienced that type of intimacy with someone, and now, that that's not something that's supposed to be becoming of a Christian woman. That you can identify with that, but still, you can't identify with me as a Christian, saved, single woman. I'm supposed to be this and I'm supposed to be that. And a lot of times I feel like I cannot live up to people's expectations of what I should be as a Christian woman. And I think even in his message, he's like, there are some parts of the Bible you just feel like, I wish I could just erase that really quick so it doesn't apply to me or it doesn't apply to my life. And I think that's one of the hardest things about being a Christian, is that we are under the scrutiny of the Word of God and have to live in these bodies. We're living in a world not made for us. We already know that God did not create us to be by ourselves, but yet here I am, a 27-year-old woman, living under the guise that I'm by myself, although I'm not supposed to be by myself. So you can't identify with me. You can't identify with trying to be the saved single Christian woman, and I live in this world that I live in, which is contrary to everything my Bible says. And it's hard being the Christian woman, trying to deny my flesh. I actually was working on a chapter in my book called the 2011 NFL Draft. That's what the chapter is called. And in this chapter, I'm talking about the draft that took place earlier this year. And not to give everything away that I talk about in the chapter, but I'm basically talking about God's wonderful creation called man. I don't know if you women have seen, there are some gorgeous, just talking about the physical effects, there are some gorgeous, gorgeous men out there in this world. And I say, Lord, you want me to be single for 30 years and live how I'm supposed to live, how the Bible tells me to live? I'm like out of my mind. Like, God, how is that possible to do? How is that possible to look at God's gorgeous man day after day and live as a saved Christian single woman should live? You can't identify with me. You just can't. It's impossible for you to identify with me unless you wake up every day with me and go to bed every day with me. There's no way you can identify. Even if you are saved, single, and Christian, maybe you can identify a little bit. But even then, I can't identify with you. I'd have to live a day in your shoes and go through the things that you go through. So, singles, I really do have a burden in my heart for the single people because I'm single. 27 years single. I keep telling you guys, I have been saying, where is he, since I was 19 years old. 19, it'll be 10 years in 2 years that I have been saying, where is he? And I don't know if I've covered this in my videos with you guys, but the whole thing with people saying when you stop looking, that's when he'll come. I am so sick of hearing that. To me, that is so backwards. Like, why would the Lord send me a man when I don't need him? Why would you send me a man when I no longer have the desire and it's the furthest thing from my mind? Why send him then? Send him now when I need him. Send him now so that I don't make the bad choice. Send him now so I don't wake up in the morning with regret. So, I hate when people say that. I hate when people say, when you least expect it, or when you're not paying attention, or when you're not even thinking about it, he will come. Butt kiss. I don't want him then. I want him now. You will never be able to identify with me as a saved Christian woman. You just can't. You just can't do it. And don't even try, because you can't. So I have just been, ever since I've been watching his videos, Bishop Noel Jones, I have been just stirred up in my spirit. Just kind of laughing about how God is. If you have a relationship with God, you know that God can be so funny sometimes. If you just think about things that happen in your life, you just say, God, you are just hilarious. Why did I go through this? But at the end of the day, I know I went through it because he does have a purpose and a plan for my life. So I have to go through these things, even though I'm like, why am I going through that? And I was just talking to my mom the other day, and I was saying, Mom, had I not met this one guy, these things that are happening now in my life would not be happening. Because, we do that a lot. Why did I meet this person, or why did this relationship happen? And I was like, had I not met him, because actually the funny thing is, when I had met this guy, I was kind of talking to this other guy. And because I thought guy B was the right guy and guy A wasn't, I kind of scooted guy A out the way and kind of let things go on with guy B. Well, guy B wasn't the guy, and now I'm talking to guy A again. So I'm like, life is just funny. Had I not talked to guy B, although he wasn't the one, had I not talked to guy B, things that are happening in my life now would not be happening without that experience and without knowing that person. So God does things for a reason. He knows what he's doing. And even though you can't identify with me, God can identify with me because he knows me. He created me. And that's what helps me sleep at night. God created me. He knows my heart. He knows my desires. I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes, and I'm like right there. So I just want to let you guys know, keep watching the videos. I'm going to do something else in the series probably in a couple days. I'm trying to give you guys a break in between videos. I don't want to overload you. But you can't identify with me. That's what this whole video is. You can't identify with me. As a single Christian woman, you can't identify. Even if you are single and Christian, you can't identify. But God can, and He knows. He knows the reason why we're single right now. One of the ladies at my church said that there's a reason why you're single, Sister Dion. And I said, I know. There's a reason why I'm single. God knows it. I don't understand it, and I don't know it, but He does. So that's it for this series. The number one video in the series. And I will talk to you guys probably like Thursday. I'll probably do a video Thursday. So I will talk to you then. Hope you guys had a great weekend. We're still on Halloween, so hit the haunted houses, scary movies. And I will see you guys later in the week. All right, bye-bye.